Hello everyone, my name is Lori Bradner and we are broadcasting live with the Florida Aviation Network. We are here celebrating 45 years of Sun and Fun. We are broadcasting from the Aerospace Center for Excellence located at the Lakeland Linder International Airport. And today I am here with my friend and co-host, Mr. Ben Coleman. Ben, how are you? Ben? Ben, hey, man, we're on, Ben, we're on.
I'm sorry, Lori. It's been a good week, but a long week.
Oh,
okay?
I know it has.
We got a little bit of sleep last night, but not much.
No, not much. Ben, I tell you what, we didn't get any at all after that spectacular fireworks show. Yeah, I don't know, I have to tell you, in all of my years of being at Sun and Fun, I have never seen anything like it. Mm-hmm. My family was here, my children were here, even my children. It was spectacular. It was awesome. Did you get a chance to see it?
I didn't last night, but
yes.
In the nights or previously, that could have surpassed them all. But in the past, it's fun to see folks out there with their cameras,
yes,
taking pictures of fireworks.
Yeah,
that's classic. But no, they do a good job here, and it doesn't come easy.
No, it doesn't, and I have to tell you, of course, some of the staples and the highlights last night, for those of you and our viewers that weren't able to be here, it was spectacular. Gene Soucy, of course, was back, and Manfred Radius. I know both of us that have had the pleasure of speaking with Manfred Radius, who is just
quite a gentleman.
Oh my goodness, yeah, just fantabulous. And it was a remarkable show, Ben. I can't say enough. Unfortunately, I know there was a little bit of a disappointment. We heard it in the crowd. Rob Ryder was out there announcing. And I believe on Thursday, there was, due to a time change, there was some issues with the drones and the GPS. And apparently what we heard is that when they went to regulate the drones, we were supposed to have this spectacular show. What happened, Ben, was when they actually looked at the computers and looked at the drones, they had them functioning 16 feet underground. Not such a good thing. They thought they had it fixed. And do you know, Ben, at the last minute, Rob Ryder, who is one of our favorite announcers, he's a staple here, came on and said that unfortunately they weren't able to correct the problem. So, you know what? That gives us something to look forward to for year number 46. What do you think?
That's true. And again, software, hardware problems. We're still somewhat in our infancy in the technological aspect of this business. And we got to remember that before we go to complete unmanned aircraft.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to work out these glitches, and it will be seamless. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Trust me, it will be seamless.
Now, Ben, I know you were here earlier this week, and I must ask you, because I've joined you later this week, and I came in this weekend, but I heard that I know you're tired. Ben, we need to put a cot for you because I know you're tired. But I heard you had a spectacular week with some spectacular guests. And for those in our viewing audience and those that are listening on the radio, can you recap some of the highlights of your week, Ben, and some of the highlights of the people that you spoke to?
Be glad to, Lori. And again, the hosting of this broadcast, if you will, it's not for the faint of heart, because you have all different personalities. You have the real dynamic A-type personality and the real submissive B-type. Right. And I think I even found a D or an E-type, to where you just need to keep pulling, because people get afraid of looking at these.
Right.
Do you know, still to this day, most people would rather die by fire than to get up and speak into public. Yeah. And that's why, particularly with the kids that we have up here, I love to develop with them and make them feel comfortable. Our job is to make our guests feel comfortable.
That's right.
And to pull out what they have to share with us, because there's always a safety thread on particularly the professionals and those who are not professionals yet. We try to instill that, and hopefully our viewers it will transcend through our work here of how important it is to keep that safety message current. And okay, Manfred Radius, I didn't get a chance to talk with Manfred, total gentleman.
Yes.
Lee Lauterbach, Staff 51.
Yay!
He's pro.
He is a pro.
Well, all of them are pro. Patty Wagstaff, talked to her yesterday.
Yes.
And the true professional performers out there are, there's nothing fake or false. Their bravado is just the way that they are, their confidence.
Right.
And I've used the term several times here. There's a fine line between being confident and cocky.
Right.
And Patty, she hit it on the head. She hit it out of the park yesterday.
Did she?
And she says, "Well, I don't think we have any cocky performers anymore. Unfortunately, you ride. Eventually, the law of averages will catch up with you if you push the envelope too much every time for the wrong reasons. And Patty does that to demonstrate the performance capability of an aircraft. And just like Sean D. Tucker back when he was performing.
Yes.
He was another one of those professionals. It's just, there's so many professionals in this business, and we hope that when we are able to broadcast the background with them, we develop a little bit more to where people see and get an insight into their personality, not just the way that they handle an aircraft through the sky.
Yeah, I have to tell you, to that point, which Ben, I think you made an excellent point. You know, our mission, of course, here at the Florida Aviation Network is certainly education, and certainly we want to inspire people to go in, especially our young people, and of course for me, young women, to go into aviation. But I think we heard it best at our briefing today, and if I could reiterate, if, you know, our main goal is really aviation safety and making sure that we are. That was interesting. Anyway, speaking of safety first, but it's aviation safety and making sure that we are stressing that message. And I think we heard it in our briefing today, that if our message gets out through our experts that we bring on, those pilots, and of course you brought up Stallion 51, and we got to speak with Marco, and we got to speak with Michael, fabulous, fabulous individuals who really spoke about unusual attitude and unusual attitude training when you're flying, and how the industry itself is pushing for young people, our young people at the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. I know Patty has been extremely instrumental in that, in helping them understand the importance of not only learning how to fly the aircraft, but learning how to fly it if they get into an unusual attitude, but also when I spoke with those two gentlemen yesterday from Stallion 51, and their mission is fabulous, really those pilots, some that have 2,000 hours, some with 5,000 hours, some with 22,000 hours, that are approaching them and coming and saying, I need to make sure that I'm the best that I can be at my craft. And especially with what we're hearing on the news and things that we hear, and certainly in our current events, we see the importance of that. And as we said, if this broadcast or this radio show can save one life out of the 30 years that we've been doing this, if there's one life that's been saved, Ben, we've accomplished our mission. That's fabulous.
Well, Lori, I can assure you that I believe to date it's 347 accidents we prevented.
Really?
347. Prove me wrong.
I won't. No, Ben, I would never question you.
So
no.
we don't know. We don't know if it's 347 or 526.
It doesn't matter.
One? It doesn't matter.
One.
Like
and that, if it's one, it's fabulous.
And Lori, another thing that we in this industry, it's a sliver, a mere sliver of the pie chart of our demographics of the world.
Yes.
And we talk to ourselves more than anyone else in this industry. So for the viewers, this is streaming live over the internet.
I didn't know that.
Share this with a friend, and a friend that maybe not in aviation that might have an interest. I call them closet pilots, closet mechanics. You know, the guys that love to work on marine outboards and lawnmowers. Well, the airplane is just it's a machine. It has standards. It has some technology in it, but get up with it if you like it, and we need you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I do have to tell you too, Ben, I think you alluded to this as well in your earlier comment. Not only did I have the benefit of talking, obviously, to some very seasoned pilots and the AvDoc himself, and which was fabulous again from Stallion 51.
Dr. Bush.
But, you betcha, he's fabulous. And actually, he had just flown in. So he came on the show in his flight suit, again, for those that didn't see it. So I was so excited just to talk with him. But Ben, really the highlight for me, and I don't know if you had this experience as well, is when we get a chance, what a gift we have as the host and hostess of Florida Aviation Network to speak to our young people. And I have to tell you, I got to speak with Caroline Doherty. What an extraordinary young woman. What a wonderful inspiration for women in STEM education. And, I was so thrilled, and her father, little did I know, was standing behind the camera, and I got to meet him later. She announces for the Doherty Air Show for her dad. It's her daddy in the airplane. And what I love about aviation, Ben, is as we talk about these young people, even one of our Stratus winners, that Stratus competition that they run for the Central Florida Aerospace Academy students, do you know, Ben, she did it because her sister won it last year. And that's what inspired her. And aviation, and I know you've been in it much longer than I have, and you're an expert, but I want our viewers and I want our listeners to know we are a family. Aviation is a family, and we're all in this together. Yeah. And I love that because that's brought out when we talk to those young people. And I know, can you speak to that because you're the expert?
No, and the young ones, again, our job is to make them feel comfortable here to try and inspire them further than they are. Because usually, if you make it to the set here, you are an inspiration already. And there's nothing, we're not opposed to bring in greenhorns.
No, exactly.
I mean, I'd love to have a greenhorn show. I thought I saw a greenhorn walk by. I was
going to say, we'll
him,
just pull them right on up here, Ben, absolutely.
Because it's important for us to share what we have.
Yeah.
And for the young ones, it's great, and we love to get the older the better. I talked to a 96-year-old, the last World War II fighter ace.
Oh my gosh!
Down in Sebring, and Aubrey. Okay.
And see, this is impromptu and it's live, and we can never remember names when we need it.
Colonel Aubrey. Okay, Aubrey Alt, A-U-L-T. Okay. 96, and we made a pact that we were going to bring him back in 2030 because he says, I'm going to live to be 120. And he's in such good shape. I mean, he gets up every day and works out. Yeah. It's just disgusting. But Colonel Alt is quite an interesting character. But I got to share one thing with you before we lose our time.
Yes.
The hardest thing as a host is to be up here talking with some of our senior airmen that have so much passion about what they do that they get choked up about it. and then we get wrapped up in them getting choked up and seeing them swell up and the crocodile tears start showing. It's tough to not get pulled into that, and good grief, we could just have a big cry fest up here about how important it is to in this industry. And of course, I'm speaking about Larry Kelly, talking about Panchito and the B-25 that's flying. Wow. But passionate man, and it's.
And you got to talk to him this week.
Oh, I did. I did. And and one of your pros, Peggy Chabrian.
Yes.
Peggy Beatty Chabrian, and I almost misspoke. Sometimes I get ahead of myself, Lori.
I can't imagine, Ben. Never happens to me, ever.
But the only thing that came to my mind as I was talking to her is, Peggy, I look at you as a matriarch of aviation.
She is.
And she kind of looked shocked, and she's a very humble person.
Yeah. And
I thought, matriarch, does that mean what I think it means? I think it means a leader and a queen of an organization. Right. But it was
it's true.
Tense moments. But she has done so much and build that women in aviation
Yes,
organization.
she has. Yes, she has. And this is just, again, Ben, this has been an extraordinary show. We're celebrating 45 years of Sun and Fun and looking forward to another 45. As you said, I think I heard in one of your broadcasts, you can't wait until the 50th. And this is such exciting times. And each year, I have to tell you, just being out there looking at the exhibits, of course, we had the Blue Angels here this year, so they've been flying. And even if you've not had an opportunity to come to the air show, I'm telling you, Ben, if you live anywhere in Polk County, anywhere near Lakeland Linder International Airport, I promise you, you've heard them. There's no way you've missed them over the skies, and they've just done a fabulous job. And it seems to me that this is definitely a show for ages 2 to 92.
Yep.
This is something that there is something here for everyone, whether you like technology, whether you love aviation, whether you're a military pilot, whether you're a civilian. You know what, Ben, or I hate to say it like myself, even if you just like to eat, it's a great place to come, Ben. Between the Amish donuts and the kettle corn, you can't beat it.
Lori, are you making some insinuations?
No. Ben, the camera takes off 10 pounds.
I have been bodybuilding. I do the 12-ounce curls daily. Another person, I got to mention this.
Yes.
Rochelle Floyd.
She has done a spectacular job here.
But you didn't see her interview.
No.
She was Blue Angel 7. She got one of the rides. And we had footage of her in the cockpit, and she was still buzzing. She was almost shaking that she was so excited to share with us her experience with the Blue Angels.
Right. And you know what? The wonderful thing about that is because of her role here as the education director, she's able to translate that and pass that on. And I think one of the messages we want to send to all students is, Ben, the more you do, the more opportunities you have. I had several people. I would always ask them, Ben, what is your advice to the young people? And they would say, never give up, never settle. Do everything you can, take advantage of every opportunity. And that's one thing that I think Sun and Fun really has done well over the years, is it is a plethora of doors. No matter where your interests, whether it's A&P, whether it's maintenance, whether it's mechanic, whether it's flying, it doesn't matter, whether it's military, with their wonderful ROTC program that they have in the Civil Air Patrol. And of course, we've got our wonderful RAF here, the Royal Air Force Cadets here again. There is something for everyone, and the doors that Sun and Fun opens for these young people, and even for us, Ben.
Sure,
How wonderful
it's a fun time.
It is, absolutely.
I've got to share another one with you.
Yes.
This is a recap, and
It is a recap.
It's funny that once the brain gets stimulated a little bit, I had the pleasure of talking with the outgoing and the incoming vice principal of CFAA, Central Florida Aerospace Academy.
Keith Smith is the outgoing.
Keith Smith and Tammy Epson,
that's right, thank you.
is the vice principal now.
Yes.
And she is young, bubbly. Keith's old, gnarly. I mean that respectfully. I love you, Keith.
And Keith, he meant that in the nicest way. We're just saying that, Mr. Smith.
But Keith, I did share with the fact that he retired last year.
Yeah.
And the ultimate display of sincerity is to, once you retire, you still come back and volunteer. Yeah. He's still over there volunteering his time and helping out, and it's that type of dedication that I hope, again, we use the term transcend, that we want to transcend to this new group of generations. We're 2 generations deep from, at least me. I'm not 29 years old like you.
28, Ben, 28.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I don't mean to add the years, but actually it's not too bad getting old, because if I knew what I know now, back when I was younger, I'd be a basket case. I really would.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have the maturity to handle all of the excitement that I have pent up inside.
Yes.
And who else I was talking about? Was it Kermit?
Kermit Weeks.
I was talking with him about, no, it wasn't Kermit. We refuse to grow old. We're not going to grow up. We will not grow up. And if you've never had a chance to talk with Kermit, we're talking about a bundle of energy here, man. Follow your energy, your inner energy. And the man's on a journey.
Yes, he is. And you know what? I love the fact, because not only is he on a journey, do you know what, Ben? The remarkable thing, I've had the honor of speaking to him as well, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Do you know he just forges his own path? And that in itself is inspiring, because he is on no one's journey. He is writing his own story. And I absolutely love that about him. And I think he inspires other people not to conform, to be unique, to be themselves, and to write their own story and be proud of it. And I absolutely love that. I know, Ben, they're giving us the time. Ben, I could talk to you forever, and I know I'm going to get a chance. I think you're going to be in the studio. Ben, they're going to send me out in the field again. Again? I lost you last time. I know. I'm going to try not to get lost this time, Ben. But is there any last comments that you would like to make?
Just that 2020 is going to be another fantabulous year, and it's a Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo will be Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo.
Yes.
You heard it here.
You heard it here
on
first.
Florida Aviation Network. Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. Think about it. At the Aerospace Center for Excellence.
That's
on
right.
the campus of Sun and Fun here in the Florida Air Museum.
Yep.
Lori, close it out.
Awesome. Well, we hope that you'll join us. We're celebrating the very last day today of 45 years of the Sun and Fun Fly-In, getting ready to change to the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in 2020. And Ben, wait. Ben has a break.
Trailers, he can't do that to us. Yes, we can. Who are we going to thank for bringing this broadcast, this presentation to the world, literally? Who do we thank?
Who do we thank?
The volunteers.
The volunteers, absolutely. And you know what, Ben? I want to say, too, when we say thank you, just so that our viewers know not only about Florida Aviation, our mission, the network's mission, but also that we're a family affair, Ben.
Yep.
We've been doing this a long time, but I'm so proud to tell you that, Ben, I'm looking over at camera 2, and I've got my daughter behind the camera, and my son is in the booth. And so I want people to know that we have plethora of opportunity, and we are a family
but
here.
Wait a minute, we got Mama sitting here watching
and
everything.
Mama is Mama is critiquing me as I speak, exactly. But anyway.
Okay, I'm getting it in the trailer saying, okay, Ben, shut up. Shut up, Ben, that's enough.
Now,
All
wait
right.
a second, we just talk forever. Anyway, again, my name is Lori Bradner. This was Ben Coleman. We just wanted to do a quick recap of the 45th annual Sun and Fun Fly-In. Please join us today. We are broadcasting live from the Aerospace Center for Excellence. We're located right here at Lakeland Linder International Airport. It's a beautiful day to fly. We have clear skies. It's blue with light winds. So please come see us today.